Imagine you're a seal. You found a nice chunk of ice floating in the Antarctic Ocean. The sun is out. Nobody is trying to eat you. For the first time all week, life feels surprisingly peaceful. Then the ocean starts moving. Not because of a storm, not because of an earthquake, because a group of killer whales has decided you're today's problem. The water rises. A wave crashes over the ice. The entire iceberg flips. And suddenly, you're airborne. Before you even hit the water, several black and white predators are already waiting below. The whole thing lasts seconds. For the seal, it's a disaster. For the orcas, it's just another Tuesday. What's strange is that sometimes they don't even seem interested in eating immediately. They toss prey around. They experiment. They cooperate. They invent new techniques. It's the kind of behavior that makes people look at orcas and ask an uncomfortable question. Are these animals hunting, or are they enjoying themselves? The ocean is filled with terrifying creatures. Sharks have razor-sharp teeth. Giant squid look like something designed during a fever dream. Saltwater crocodiles have spent millions of years perfecting the art of being everyone's worst nightmare. But the animal many experts consider the ocean's most effective predator isn't any of them. It's a giant dolphin. A giant dolphin with a brain powerful enough to turn hunting into strategy. And that's how evolution accidentally created one of the most fascinating and unsettling animals on Earth. The first thing most people don't realize is that orcas aren't really whales in the traditional sense. They're dolphins, the largest dolphins on Earth, which means nature took one of the smartest groups of animals in the ocean and scaled it up until it weighed over 12,000 pounds and stretched nearly 30 feet long. That's usually when things start getting dangerous. Orcas evolved millions of years ago during an evolutionary arms race that never truly ended. The oceans were crowded with predators competing for food. Ancient sharks dominated some regions. Massive marine reptiles had ruled before them. Early whales were evolving into giants. Everyone wanted the same thing, a meal. And in nature, if you're not getting the meal, there's a decent chance you're becoming the meal. Most predators solve this problem through specialization. A great white shark became incredibly good at hunting seals. A lion became incredibly good at hunting large mammals. Orcas went in a completely different direction. Instead of becoming masters of one strategy, they became masters of adaptation. Fish, seals, penguins, sea turtles, dolphins, sharks, even whales. Almost nothing was off the menu. And the reason they could pull that off wasn't because they had the biggest teeth. It was because they had something much more dangerous: intelligence. Most predators rely heavily on instinct. Orcas learn. And that's where things start getting weird. Scientists have discovered that different populations of orcas use completely different hunting techniques. Some groups possess skills that neighboring groups don't have at all. It's almost like different human cultures. Some Antarctic orcas create waves to wash seals off ice. Others intentionally strand themselves on beaches to grab prey before sliding back into the water. Some work together with such precision that they look less like animals and more like a military unit conducting an operation. And then there are the shark specialists. These orcas have discovered a terrifying trick. They flip sharks upside down. The shark enters a state known as tonic immobility, essentially becoming temporarily helpless. The orca then calmly removes the liver, which is packed with nutrients and energy. Sometimes that's all it eats. Imagine getting robbed and the thief takes only your wallet while leaving everything else behind. That's basically what's happening. But perhaps the strangest behavior involves porpoises. Researchers have repeatedly observed orcas killing porpoises without eating them. They chase them, throw them through the air, carry them around, and then leave. Some scientists think they're practicing hunting skills. Others think they're teaching younger orcas. The truth is, nobody knows for sure. And whenever scientists say, "We don't know why they did that," things usually become very uncomfortable. If you really want to understand how powerful orcas are, look at their enemies. Actually, don't, because they barely have any. Orcas sit at the top, not near the top, at the top. Adult orcas have no natural predators. Even great white sharks often avoid areas where they are present. And then there are the whale hunts. A blue whale can grow to nearly 100 feet long. It can weigh more than 150 tons. Its heart alone weighs roughly 400 pounds. It is the largest animal known to have existed, ever. Yet groups of orcas have been documented attacking them, not just calves, adults. The strategy can take hours. The pod works together, exhausting the whale, separating family members, blocking escape routes, and attacking in waves. It's less like a hunt and more like a siege, a carefully coordinated battle between some of the smartest predators in the ocean and the largest animal on Earth. And sometimes the giant loses. That's the moment you realize something important. Nature's most dangerous weapon isn't always size. Sometimes it's teamwork. For all their terrifying abilities, there's something deeply strange about orcas. Wild orcas almost never attack humans. Think about that. A predator capable of dismantling sharks and hunting whales has spent thousands of years largely ignoring us. There are no confirmed fatal attacks by wild orcas on humans, which is honestly one of the luckiest facts in human history. Maybe we don't look like food. Maybe we're too skinny. Maybe we're just weird. Whatever the reason, wild orcas generally leave people alone. But captivity told a very different story. For decades, marine parks presented orcas as performers. They jumped through hoops, splash crowds, posed for photographs. To millions of visitors, they looked less like apex predators and more like giant ocean puppies. Then came the incident that changed everything. In February 2010, an experienced trainer named Don Broncho was working with an orca named Tilikum at SeaWorld, Orlando. Tilikum weighed around 12,000 pounds. He was one of the largest captive orcas in the world. That day, he grabbed Broncho and pulled her underwater. She did not survive. The tragedy shocked the public. Suddenly, people remembered something they had forgotten. These animals are not performers first. They're predators first. The incident triggered intense debate among scientists and animal behavior experts. Was it aggression, stress, frustration, the psychological effects of captivity? No one can know exactly what happened inside Tilikum's mind, but many researchers pointed to a difficult reality. Orcas evolved to travel enormous distances, live within tight family groups, and spend their lives navigating entire oceans. Evolution built them for freedom, not concrete tanks. As if orcas weren't mysterious enough, something strange started happening off the coast of Spain and Portugal. Beginning around 2020, groups of orcas started interacting with sailboats. I mean a lot. Some targeted rudders, others rammed vessels repeatedly. Several boats were seriously damaged. A few even sank. Scientists still debate exactly why this behavior emerged. It may have started after a negative encounter between an orca and a boat. It may be play. It may be something else entirely. The remarkable part isn't the behavior itself, it's how quickly it appeared to spread, because orcas learn from each other. A new behavior developed by one individual can spread through an entire population, just like a trend spreading among humans, which is fascinating and slightly terrifying. It's easy to call orcas psychopaths, the ocean's serial killers, nature's villains, and honestly, some of their behavior does look like something from a horror movie. They hunt sharks for specific organs. They coordinate attacks on animals many times their size. They teach hunting strategies to younger generations. They invent new techniques and pass them down through family lines. But the reality is more complicated than monster versus hero. Orcas form lifelong family bonds. They cooperate, they communicate, they teach, they care for their young. The same brain capable of organizing a whale hunt is also capable of maintaining relationships that last an entire lifetime. That's what makes them so fascinating. They aren't evil. They're simply what happens when evolution spends millions of years refining intelligence into a weapon. Because nature doesn't care about morality, it cares about survival. And in the oceans, few creatures have mastered survival better than the killer whale. The ocean's psychopath? Maybe. The ocean's greatest success story? Almost certainly. And that's far more terrifying.